Hello my friends, I'm back and Odden Podden is up and running. I don't know if I'm gonna make episodes every day, but right now it's very exciting, so I wanted to make another one straight away. This one is gonna be about the difference between black metal and death metal from a Norwegian point of view and from an old Norwegian point of view. So when I started out as a musician in the 80s, there was not that many bands to be inspired by. Basically, the only band in Norway that was black metal was Mayhem. And I got to know them really early on, and I was super intrigued by this band. And my first band, Slaught, was then formed straight after me meeting Mayhem for the first time. And I had no other bands to relate to when it came to imagery and stuff like this, so I basically stole their logo, and my band had this demo cover, Slaught, and as you can see, the logo is pretty much the Mayhem logo. Euronymous wasn't very pleased with me just stealing his logo, so he sent me rather offensive letter. Me being 13, he was 18, and he said, this is not acceptable, you have to find your own way. And I was very disappointed. Somehow my big hero just rejected my band, and I was 13, 14, so looking back, it was really kids trying their best. But anyway, I then moved on to form a band inside my head called Asmodeus, this one, and I still have the Mayhem upside down cross thing, kind of, and this band was just in my head. I had the ideas to get members, so I made this Asmodeus is, and the three band members was Carrion Eater, I guess that's me, Torturist, also me, and Monstrous, also me. Never find any people that wanted to play this kind of music. This is 87, and when I finally met some people that were into Slayer and Celtic Frost and Bathory, we formed a band called Baphomet. This logo. And as you can see, there's still a cross there, and it's a little bit different. I guess this is very inspired by Bathory. Well, I know it's very inspired by Bathory because we also made a demo cover looking like this. This is from 87. And at that time, this genre was, in the very beginning, wasn't really a genre like it is now, for sure. And it was just different bands doing different things, different sounds, different ideas. And we listened to all these bands at the same time. Basically, the scene in Norway was very small, and we all liked the same things coming out of America, the UK, and Sweden and Germany. For us, Voivod became a very inspiring band because of their apocalyptic lyrics and very different sound. Killing technology was a huge factor for us in the early beginnings. Oh, Cadaver, which was formed in 88. And of course, Carcass, Napalm Death, anything that happened that was extreme we were into. So we made this logo, Cadaver logo. This is a logo I drew in 1988, and on this poster from 1990 you can see Cadaver right there. The main band at this gig was Entombed, and then Disharmonic Orchestra, and Rabbit's Carrots, and Dissection, and John from Dissection was the promoter. I guess he was only 15 or something at the time. And as you can see, all these logos now in 1990 is super different. No logo looked exactly the same as anybody else. And we thought that was the whole key for everything to do with this kind of music. To be unique, different, and do your own thing. But then death metal started to become more mainstream. When I say mainstream, it's not really mainstream, but more similar to the path that thrash and metal took late 80s. Meaning the bands started to look like normal people waiting for the bus instead of people with spikes, makeup and all that stuff. And we were all a part of that stuff. We were basically just doing our thing. And then in 1991, when Dead from Mayhem shot himself, and Dark Throne threw away all the songs they had planned for their second album and started to do full-on makeup, black and white, do-it-yourself, harsh sounds. The guitar sound was basically the big difference there, and the songwriting, everything very inspired by Celtic Frost, Mayhem, Bathory, but definitely Dark Throne did their own thing. So that's where Norwegian bands kind of diverged, but not really. Norwegian death metal scene became the black metal scene, and we were kind of in between because we were doing, well, the same inspirations like everybody else, but we were much more into whatever was new at the time also. But my soul and heart is black metal, and even if death metal is a term, it's now gone so long since then that I'm not really that interested in genres anymore in that respect, because I think genres basically are a way of expressing your identity. And the perfect thing with the black metal thing is that the identity is super clear. So to distinguish yourself away from all the normies, all the other people, is to do that makeup and do the whole anti-church, anti-authoritarian, basically do your own thing, your own way. And when that became like a blueprint and a style, we thought that was kind of tacky. And I think a lot of people misunderstand the whole thing with the black metal thing being like an image, which it truly is, but the imagery is a way to say fuck you to everybody else, and to distinguish yourself away from everything. So the makeup and all that stuff is a shield against the normies. It's a shield to keep your own thing away from everybody else. And it's very easy to mock and ridicule, but that's the whole point. That's what you guys should understand about this. Being mocked for doing your own thing strengthens you, because you should never care about what people say or think. And in this time and age where everybody is counting numbers, how many streams do we have, how much people do we reach, and all that stuff, that's kind of everything that we never thought about back in the day. We never thought it would be impactful to do this towards anybody else. We just did it for ourselves. So to have a career as a musician, thinking that you should do extreme metal for a living and make money, that's not what you should think and focus about. What you should focus about is basically to find your own style, your own way to do things, and nourish that, and always focus on getting better doing you. I want to hear what you sound like, how you look. Not try to be anybody else but yourself. And peeling off all the inspiration to find your core is what it's all about. And that's never going to stop. And that's the beautiful thing, because this is why we're doing this. We're chasing ourselves inwards, not outwards. So this concludes the third episode of Odden Podden, and feel free to send questions or comments or whatever, and I'll see if I can answer stuff online, or if there's any specific topics you want me to talk about, we'll do that later. But as for now, thank you for the support. Hit subscribe, and spread the word if you think this is good information. I don't know. Should be, maybe, for somebody, or inspirational. Let's keep it at that, and bye-bye.